Hey y'all.
Hi.
It's Alicia.
This is Draco.
And you're listening to
OD Podcast on the
game.
On the game.
You know, normally I say, what's up, Draco? How you doing? But I actually don't care this week.
What? You need to care about my mental health always.
Why you had to take it a minute? You take stuff too far.
I don't. Because when you ask somebody how they doing, that's...
How you doing?
Thank you. I'm fine.
I'm sorry.
I'm okay. I mean, I'm more than okay. I'm in a good space right now. It's just cold. Not necessarily here, but I'm saying in general, it's been cold.
Man, it's so cold. So I have this one really long bubble coat that I bought because it was like particularly cold that year. And I haven't worn it in like 3 years. And I always say, I don't know why I got that coat. I ain't gonna never wear it. So I was gonna sell it. And then I woke up to 22 degrees 2 days ago. So I'm gonna wear it to work tomorrow.
That joint was 21 degrees the other day. I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm leaving my house at all today.
Let me tell you, and it's so hard to dress professional and be warm at the same time. Oh my God. If y'all don't already know, when the temperature outside is 20 degrees or below, please drip your faucets overnight. Trust me. So I know people that this has happened to. And if you live in apartments, you probably have seen this sign before, but when it gets too cold outside, your pipes freeze, especially if they're exposed to the cold air. And what happens is when you finally turn the water on, those pipes expand and they burst, and then your home is going to flood, and you don't want those problems.
What?
Yep. So, and drip it on cool water. Cool water is enough to keep the pipes not frozen. But if you're a homeowner, especially, that's a very, 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 very expensive repair to do. And if you live in an apartment, now your stuff is damaged. So, y'all, please just make sure you drip your faucets if it's outside 20 degrees or colder.
Let me be your outside.
I had to. And also run your air. You don't want to. So one thing I'm guilty of is I just run my space heater in because my house is so big. I'm like, I'm not about to warm up all that stuff. I'm just gonna warm up my bedroom and just close the door. But in reality, it just never got to the right temperature. So I'm running on my bill using darn space heater. So I had to just turn the heat on in all the zones. It is what it is.
I turn heat on and use space heater, so yeah.
Yeah, space heaters are fine, but one thing I was doing inappropriately was running it overnight, and that's not safe. You know what I'm saying? Last thing was a little fire to start, and I
wish I had a timer on it, but I do get up in the middle of the night and cut it off. Yeah.
Yeah, mine has a timer, and it has a what's funny enough, it has a timer and it has a remote, but the remote don't work, so there's that. But it does have the automatic thing like thermostat. It's like, all right, if it reaches 69 degrees, 72 degrees, it'll automatically cut off.
Child, that space heater be busting.
Yeah, especially on your feet. Do your feet ever just be cold no matter how hot it is in the room?
Well, I do have hardwood floor, so it is cold.
I'm saying my feet just cold in general. My feet be so freaking cold.
I don't know. These last couple months, I've just been cold. I'm normally a warm person, like I'm always hot, but lately I've been like really cold, like to the point where people like looking at me like, "Well, how are you that cold?" I'm like, "I'm freezing."
Man, I be so cold. I started wondering if I have anemia, but I got tested and they said no. So what's the real issue, doctor?
No.
Why I be cold with 19 blankets on my bed? Sherpa blankets, at that.
Sherpa? What?
Anyways, what's going on in Shop Talk?
I'll let you go first because I know you had something you want to talk about.
Well, I want to start with something kind of light, I guess. Did you get anything from the Ivy Park collab with Adidas?
I attempted, but I don't like to rush to get stuff because I get really disappointed easily. So I went the next day, knowing it was sold out. Somebody ended up sending me like another website that had it, and they had all the stuff. The catch was it was in another language, so I didn't know how to. First of all, I didn't know the language that it was in, and I didn't know how to change the language on the website, and then I didn't know how to convert the dollars over to
Google, honey.
It was too much.
Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't that deep.
I tried to book a flight on a Japanese website before because if you guys did not know, actually, I'm going to tell you. So, in some cases, if you were looking for a great international flight deal, if you change your browser to believe it is in Japan, you can get a really cheap flight, even if it's something that's not leaving Japan. So, you can say Atlanta to Miami, and you can get a cheaper deal than you would if you were in the U.S. booking that flight.
Child.
Hey, that's the difference between...
That's fine.
Yeah.
That's actually... I don't like that.
Why not?
Because why we can't get the cheap flight?
Because we live in America where everything costs. But I think there's an attachment browser that you can get from Google that will like translate those kind of websites. I just never looked into it. So you know what's so funny? And I hate to be like that person, but I feel like this launch was not like ooey type to me. I just feel like it looked like any old Adidas thing. And granted, maybe it's kind of limited when it comes to athletic gear, but I just didn't really see what was like making me really want to get it. Besides,
I mean, it was for it to be athletic wear. I think that it was very fashionable and it was cute.
Okay, you know what? You're right, especially the little swimsuit.
Yeah, like it's like. It's something that you can possibly wear outside of the gym and outside of working out, obviously, but it's still like, you know, it's everything that she put out is something that you can work out in.
You're right. The most part. You know what? You're right.
But it's cute.
Thank you for opening my mind.
And I think the color scheme was cute because, I mean, you would never have thought to put orange and maroon together. Well, I wouldn't have anyway.
I like the shoes. Now, I knew the shoe was going to go $100. Yeah. It is what it is. But I didn't even attempt. I think I looked at right when the sale started, and I probably could have got something, but I was like, no, I want a quesadilla. So I went and got a quesadilla. And so what's funny, if you went on the Adidas app, it didn't really say sold out right away. So you're like, oh, okay, let me just get darn. And that junk was like, nah, sis.
I wanted a fanny pack. And I wanted that really big coat. And I did like the track jacket that you can like unzip on the sleeves and hang down. I thought that was cool. I didn't really understand the parachute coat thing that she was selling. Like, I don't know what I would do with that. Aesthetics. It was just confusing. But I mean, had I would have got it all for free, I would have wore it all. But the things that I would have purchased myself, the shoes, I don't really like low top shoes, even though I got some on today, but I rarely wear these. And I got these for a gift. I would have got the jackets, the big coat, the track jacket, and then the fanny pack for sure. I really wanted that.
Yeah, I think I just wanted shoes and the biker short outfit. Like, oversized shirts and bikers are my favorite thing because I need to lose weight. And you can't always tell when you have on biker shorts and an oversized t-shirt.
I actually like
insecurity shine.
That's going to be my workout outfit for the summer.
I'm going to try to work out.
But yeah, no, shout out to everybody getting a box though. That was so creative to everybody.
Oh my God, that was so cool. I think the first person I saw was Yara Shahidi. Yeah. And then Meg finally posted her video yesterday, and then Janelle Monáe. People was really hating on some of the folks that only got like shoes. Parcel, yeah. I'm like, listen, she could have literally given me a thank you card for knowing that she exists. Appreciate that, Beyonce, for sending it to the right address.
So,
go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just looked at my phone again and it just reminded me. So, what's up with Orlando Brown talking about Nick Cannon and gave him head?
I ain't even seen the video yet. Let's play it. You gonna pull it up? You want to pull it up?
Yeah.
Somebody sent it to me in a group chat today.
Nick, okay, look, fine, okay? You want me to tell everybody? You want me to let everybody know what that? Okay, fine. Nick, I let you suck. Okay? Fine, I said. I let Nick suck my and I liked it. It was okay, fine. Nick, you sucked my but everybody knows you did it as a female. But Nick, you sucked my I don't want to say that. You know? Nick been sucking. Nick, you know you been sucking. You mush mouth motherfucker. You don't want me on Wildin' Out. Nick been sucking. Nick been. Everybody in the world gonna be like, Nick been sucking.
Okay, two things.
I love two things.
Where did this come from? And did you get a rehab? Did it work?
So here's the thing. I don't know if he's having like some sort of reaction to, you know, whatever. But I'm just not really that skilled on mental illness and mental health. Do people gain? Like, do you grow? Can it be possible that you can grow into like schizophrenia or bipolar disorder, or is it something that you're born with?
No, you absolutely. Oh my God, I'm glad you asked. Yes, you can grow into it. I'll share after this though. Because
I just find it so crazy that people that we've seen grow up, and granted, we didn't know what was going on behind the scenes for real. But they just seem like they had it together for the most part, and then they just grow up and they're like...
Throw it off.
Yeah, that's been happening a lot lately that I've been seeing with a lot of black people in Hollywood, and it just makes me nervous. Cause I think, and I hate to put it on a city, no offense to people that live in Los Angeles, but it's a lot of crazy stuff that just happens in Los Angeles. And at one point, I remember when I used to smoke weed, I used to sit down on my laptop and just research all type of stuff. I would research mind control facilities. I would research cloning facilities and all these things, and it all traces back to LA and Los Angeles, and I would watch like conspiracy stories about.
That's where the Church of Scientology lies.
Yeah.
Doesn't shock me.
And like I just would like read stuff and watch stuff about conspiracy theories about cloning of celebrities and cloning of like famous people. Just all type of stuff they have to go through just to get in the industry. Like I read the story about what happened with Justin Bieber and all this other type of stuff. But it's just crazy. Like I really want to know what happens to these people to make them turn this way, because it's not funny. I mean, even though, we looking at it on the internet, everybody is laughing at it, but something is really wrong.
Well, I
don't want to know what's going on. And I know it's partially dealing with drugs.
Partially. Well, I don't know anything about clones and things of that nature, but what I do think, my theory is...
That was just all off subject. I just had to throw that part in there.
Like this type of stuff. So I know one thing, and this happens to people, even regular people our age. I think something that comes to people when they live a very fast-moving, high-attention, like... powerful position or lifestyle, I guess you could say, when it's done, they kind of are empty. You know what I mean? So I think that people turn to drugs, they turn to other things to kind of cope with it. And I don't know, I mean, it could be different for every person, but Orlando Brown was on drugs. Yeah. A lot of people, a lot of child stars, a lot of people who fell off ends up on drugs. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what else am I supposed to do? I'm having fun. I want attention. What can I do to be feeling good again? So they do these things and it goes so far. So, and speaking of that, I'm not sure if you keep up with basketball, but Delonte West.
Girl, I saw that yesterday.
Yes, and so...
Day before yesterday, yeah.
So I saw a video from like September where somebody had recorded him under a bridge on a highway where he was just like homeless and like dancing around and acting up, and I saw this video of him getting arrested, and he literally, the man, I mean, it's crazy like what's happened to him. And is this the guy who slept with LeBron James' mama? Am I tripping?
What?
Yeah, okay, let me just confirm that. Yep, this was in 2010. So in 2010, yeah, so anyway, people are saying it was the LeBron effect. It was like because of what happened that they, like, his life was downhill. Now, I don't keep up with basketball. I don't know the last time this guy played a game, and I don't know what happened to his career per se, but I do know that what's going on with him is very sad, and it can really happen to anybody. And so when you asked about the schizophrenia thing, I have a childhood friend that I've known literally my entire life, and she was I know her from church, okay? So to get background, we didn't really hang out like that except on Sundays. Anyway, so she was a very, very, like, well-supported young lady, like, good, family financially stable. She went to Spelman, she went to law school, and then she tried to take the bar. She could not pass the bar, right? And I think it really got to her, and she, like, was stressed out, and now she's a schizophrenic. And she is in a situation where she believes, and this is the honest to God truth, she thinks that she's married to DeAndre Green. She thinks that they have 2 children. She thinks that she has lupus. She thinks that she lives in a mansion. And I'm not even kidding. She thinks that Steph Curry and Aisha Curry are like harassing her and stalking her. And these are things that she posts on social media. She has like 9 different Instagram accounts, 6 Facebooks. I mean, and it's really insane. And I always wonder why I'm on her friends list, because she doesn't have any of our friends on her friends list. Like I have not spoken to her, because what happened was when I started seeing her on my timeline, I thought she really did marry a basketball player because it just made sense for the type of person that she was. Yeah. And so one day she posted a picture like, "Hey, this is our new house." And I'm like, this picture a little blurry. And sometimes people share pictures they found on Google. It don't be like a good, how it is. So anyway, for me knowing the quality of person she was, I was like, let me look into this. And she like posts these random images. She'll like find a picture online of like a book, and it might say like a recipe, and the caption will be like, "The FBI knows what's happening." I mean, it's honestly really freaking sad. She doesn't look the same no more. She thinks like And so I don't know what happened, but she doesn't live in Atlanta with her family anymore. And from what another friend told me is that she rejected the support that they tried to give her, like to go to therapy and stuff like that. So now she's living in a whole different state, apparently by herself. I don't know if she's working. I don't know how she's supporting herself. But yeah, I really do worry about her. And I don't really know what to do. And I feel like if I reach out to her, she's going to probably block me. Yeah. And not that blocking is going to hurt my feelings, but I do want to kind of feel like I have some kind of connection to her. But it's really freaking sad. And I mean, this girl was Miss Popular. Like, if you want to try to, like, kind of put the, so think of like the most popular person that you went to school with that always had everything, and then she literally she looks unkept, rough. She won't talk to nobody else that we hung out with. And like I said, I don't even know why she allows me to be on her friends list.
Wow.
But it's so
she kind of like the lady that's on Orange is the New Black.
Yeah, no, worse. She is like whatever happened to the girl from the one from In the House.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think she's done any drugs. And I don't know that. Maybe she has. But I feel like she has. I feel like it's literally a mental illness that has come over her. And there's nothing she can do about it. And I have multiple friends who have had people who have had scenarios where they have been drugged. And their body did not react appropriately. I know 3 cases I can think of right now. I can't really share because it's a little close to home. But they have been drugged at some point, spiked a drink or whatever case, or laced a blunt. And it just made their body go crazy. So down there, one guy like ended up on the other side of the country. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
And one guy was just doing this thing where he's like obsessed with music, where he just sends people these random music links all day long. And he thinks that he's searching for this girl that he tried to talk to 10 years ago. It's like their mind is in this loop, y'all. And it's really scary. I know this is off topic, but it just, it's one of them things where I'm like, what is the answer and how? Because they're adults, you know what I mean? Even though they might not be quote unquote able-bodied or able-minded, like what can you even do? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was telling you the other day that my neighbor is schizophrenic and bipolar.
Oh, yes.
And it's crazy because I didn't want to call the police. I was going to call the police on her one time when I first moved in because I didn't know.
Yeah, what was going on?
Yeah, and I had to talk to my landlord because I'm like, I wonder how long she's been living over here. So I talked to him and he told me, but when I first moved in there, she used to like say crazy stuff to one of my roommates, but he didn't know that she was talking to him. Mm-hmm. She just thought that she was talking in general out the door. And so one day I was pulling out of my driveway and it was like 7 a.m. and she walked up to my car and she was asking me. I wouldn't roll the window all the way down because she was like, I'm not gonna harm you. I'm not gonna harm you. She's like, I just want to know. She's like, did you just move over here? I'm like, yeah. And she was like, yeah, so, do you go to church? No, she asked me, do I know something about somebody in the neighborhood just walking around and raping people or something like that?
Oh my goodness.
And I said, no.
It's like, you just moved in. You ain't even trying to hear nothing about that.
Yeah, so I was like, no, I don't know nothing about that. And she was like, yeah, because, it's been some things going on over here and I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. Do you go to church? And I said, no. She said, oh yeah, me either. And I'm like, oh, okay. And she was like, do you believe in God? And then I'm like, where is this going? Because I have to go. Like, I'm like, you asking me random questions, but I need to understand. She was like, oh, I just need to make sure that everything is okay because one thing about me, I don't play like real loud to me. And then she turned around and walked away. And I was like, excuse me?
Yeah, and if you don't know somebody got it, sometimes you could peep or while they start talking crazy, like, okay, something is wrong here, but that's your first encounter. You're just like,
Yeah. And then, like, my friends, they'll come over to the house and they'll catch an Uber. And they'll kind of, sometimes the Uber driver will stop, like, because she literally lives across the street from my house. Mm-hmm. So if they come in on the opposite side of the road, of course, you have to be on that side of the street. And they'll get out the car over there. And she'll, like, yell out the side door and be like, you better watch your back. Like, she'll, like, yell, like, something crazy. But she does this thing that just started maybe, like, a few months ago where it's, like, 3 or 4 in the morning. And she will literally, like, keep slamming her car door, like, getting out the car, getting back in. And she will just stand in the middle of the yard and just scream to the top of her lungs like somebody is killing her. And the other day she did it and she was, like, screaming at somebody. And she always talking to the sun. Like, she be looking at, like, if we see her, she'll, like, look in the sky and, like, she'll be talking to the sun. My landlord said that she just is bipolar schizophrenic and that I'm like, so does she take medicine or is there somebody there?
She probably doesn't. If she's acting like that, sometimes they don't even feel like there's anything wrong.
Yeah. And she told the people that was cutting the grass one time, because they cut our grass too. She told them that they mentally molested her.
Oh my God.
And they were so uncomfortable.
I bet they were. I bet I wouldn't even want to go over there no more. I'm like, I don't need no kind of complaints against me or, oh my goodness.
Yeah, I don't know. I do be wanting, I mean, not to be a snitch, but I do be wanting to send the police over there sometimes because I'm like,
honestly, I wouldn't even do it because if she do something and make them feel like they got a reason to defend themselves, it'd be a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not even.
And I'm like, I just don't want it to be like a situation where it's like you're disturbing the peace, and it, like people have PTSD already. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
yeah, imagine
you
just
screaming in the middle of the night.
You think something is wrong,
yeah,
and it's not even that. Especially if you're a new neighbor. Let me tell you something. If I bought a house and my next door neighbor, or across street neighbor, doing that, you know, let me go. Y'all can have the house back. I don't want it.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I don't know what to
honestly,
do.
man, I really do feel for those people because it's
he said she got people that taking care of her or with her, and I don't never.
You know what though? The thing is, it's only so much they can do.
Yeah, she chased the garbage man before with her car. Oh, and she does this thing too where I got it in my phone, but she does this thing where she blows the horn. So she'll just like sit on the horn for like 10 minutes straight, like not let it go. Do
you know your other neighbors?
The lady next door, so she's an older lady. She probably like in her 60s or 70s. One time she was introduce herself to us and just talking to us. And the lady came out and she said something. And she yelled at her. She said, leave him alone. Go in the house.
Oh, okay, so she probably
know, yeah. She was like, go in the house. But I'm like, all right. And this lady looks so normal.
You know what's so crazy? Growing up in the hood, we saw people like that all the time. But I think it's kind of like we actually concerned.
Yeah.
You know, when you little,
like, young, it was kind of funny.
Yeah, exactly. Because, folks,
we don't know no better. So it's like, we used to laugh at people like that. I
definitely have sympathy for those people because it's kind of like their life will never be normal. But I'm just like, what happened? Like, how can it be reversed is my concern. Because even for my friend that I grew up with, this girl went to Spelman. You know what I'm saying? Not that the school makes her a better person, but she obviously had a really good path ahead of her. And when she graduated with her Juris Doctorate, but could not pass the bar. And it just was downhill from there. It's crazy. And she thinks that she's still an attorney. Like, it's just so insane. She posts, like, all these conspiracy things about medical diagnosis. I mean, it's really sad.
She probably ain't even wrong. That's the gag.
Oh, no, for real. You know, it's so crazy. Some people who have illnesses like that really be knowing what they talking about. Like, people with, people that are autistic be knowing what they talking about. But, yeah.
Like Azalea Banks. I said it. Let's talk about how she can't do shit for a bitch. Huh?
All right, so something I want to talk about. You know, I don't know if this really is related, but I want to talk about some things that I feel like I kind of sometimes, you know, when you are going to bed, you sit up and like think about little random stuff, and I really do try to be a better person every day. So whenever situations happen, and I try to analyze like what went wrong or what could I have done differently, I try to see, like, realize the part I played in it, like we talked about in our last episode, like the part I played, how could it have been avoided. So I wanted to talk about what our toxic traits are.
Oh, spicy.
So, you know, obviously sometimes people have ways that they deal with things that is just how they are, right? Some of it is being a Gemini. Some of it is being having a short temper. Sometimes it's just, you know, thinking everybody's against you.
I'm a person that believes in astrology, but I don't like to blame everything on astrology.
Well,
some of them is just
true. So,
I mean, a lot of that stuff is true, but my thing about it is that some of it is just personality traits.
Yeah, not
you know. So I don't know. You want to go first? Because I definitely.
So my toxic trait actually has been a trait of mine for a very long time, but.
Well, I can't wait.
So something that I really hate that I do, but to me it just gives me peace. Is like when I'm mad about stuff, I just shut down. I just be quiet. I don't care. And that includes blocking people, muting people. I blocked somebody last week.
I just started blocking people this week. But I think I have that same problem, but I don't think I have it to the extent that you have because you are like super stiff.
Yeah, I know. But you know what the thing is? If I block people, no one is really growing from it. But sometimes I don't like I feel like, no, this is your problem, so I don't want you around me. But I need to really get better at like confronting people when they need to be confronted instead of just being over them.
That's actually one of my toxic traits too.
Yeah, I just need to like listen. You're unorganized, and I don't want to work with you no more.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't care about their feelings, but my problem is I always want to like spare people's feelings and stuff like that, and it's none of my business actually.
So I have that same issue. I think that sometimes, most of the times, I'll kind of express myself, like I express my, the problem that I have, but not in every instance. Like I feel like some of my friends or just people in general that I know are really sensitive, or they don't take stuff well, or you know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to argue with them. I just won't say nothing, and I just won't talk to them because in my head I'm just like, you know what I'm saying? Out of sight, out of mind. I don't have to deal with it and just move on with our life. But for the most part, first of all, I don't like to make it seem like I'm complaining either, because I hate a person that just always seems like they got a problem with something.
Yes,
or
even
they're
though you
complaining.
might be right every time, you just don't want to always be like, all right.
Yeah, I don't want to always seem like I have a problem with something, so I just try to shut up if it's not that deep. But realistically, that creates bigger problems, and I understand that everybody isn't perfect, including myself, but call me out of my shit too. Like, cause most of the time, what I hate when people do is that when you bring something up that you're doing to them or that you have a problem with, they flip it and be like, well, you do this and you do this and you do this. I'm like, well, that's your fault, because you should have called him out, called it out when it happened. What is it called?
Gaslighting. To the point. Now, let me give y'all the technical definition for gaslighting. So, gaslighting is to manipulate someone by psychological means into questioning their own sanity. So, like, when, let's say you confront somebody about cheating on you, like, you gonna believe them over me? And that's just on a minor level, but it's to the point where you really think something, like if you get mad about something or anything happens and there's somebody who you're trying to hold accountable for it, and with their response, it's got you thinking like, am I tripping? Am I sensitive? Am I overreacting?
I definitely gaslight. I think that mine comes out more so like as when I feel like somebody trying me, like you're bringing this up to me as if you didn't do blah, blah, blah.
Same. So I wonder if that's still considered gaslighting, because now it's like tit for tat. It's like, you a pussy too.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Yeah, I mean, like, in a way, I just feel like sometimes, I don't know, I just feel like everybody should just be able to genuinely call people out on their shit without it being an issue.
Yes.
And I think that now I'm getting to a point where I'm just going to start addressing it, but even if I feel like you're going to be too sensitive about it or whatever, I just need to get it out, because, me holding it in and me not saying nothing just creates bigger problems, and then that's how stuff happens. I hate it.
Yes, I think I really, really this is my problem. I really try to avoid bringing stuff up in the moment because I don't want to ruin the mood, but honestly what ends up happening is when it comes up, it's an issue anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's like, just say it, but I just really be trying to save the day. Like, I don't really have time to be mad. I hate being mad. And then, like I think we mentioned on the previous episode, it's like, well, now all this stuff done piled up, and what, you mad? I ain't know you was mad about it.
Yeah. I don't know what to do. I don't know, dude. Like, do I just wake up one day? Wake up tomorrow and just be like,
I know it's like one of those situations where you kind of have to be in your head and be like, no, before I say anything, let's get this out. But it's not that simple, man. It's really not, and I know it's not, because there's a lot of things I've asked the people to do better at, and I know it's not that simple. But I be confused as to why they ain't did it. But I know it's not that simple. It's like, why the heck you still putting peanut butter in the refrigerator?
Yeah. Alicia, what? No, I get it. I think I'm that person too. Like, I'm not perfect, and I can't expect other people to be perfect, but I just feel like certain things, though, especially if I tell you over and over and over and over what's bothering me and you keep doing it, I just don't feel like that's fair.
Yeah, it's not fair. So now I gotta be toxic and mute you and block you and cut you off.
And I feel like people should understand that. Like, once you get to a point where I keep saying it over and over, I don't even want to have a conversation about it no more. Just don't talk to me.
You're right. I have an example of one of my toxic traits. Do you remember when I had dated that guy from Hollister?
What's his name?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I did this twice, actually. 2 guys that I was talking to that I didn't want to talk to anymore. I just blocked them and broke up with them on Facebook. Ain't nothing changed since then. And then you remember he blowed my phone up, and I was just like, I'm moving to Florida. And then it wasn't going nowhere. That's so freaking toxic. I be afraid to break up with people. Not afraid. That's not true. But I always think that the best way to break up is while it's an argument.
Let me say something. I'm the queen of breaking up with people.
But how do you do it?
Tell them. Like if we're in a situation or something is going on, I'll be like, listen, this ain't working out.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling this. I can't even fake it.
Well, that's
like,
what
and that's so crazy because I'm so bold when it comes to guys, but when it comes to my friends and my family, I'm so like, I tiptoe around.
Maybe
them.
you should start having sex with your friends, and then it'll be easier.
You take stuff too far. It don't even. It's a flag on the play. No. It's not even. Oh, what?
Sorry. No, you're right.
Yeah, I'm not doing none of that. It's just, oh my God.
I can do it in the moment, but I think it's one of the things, like, I've been in a relationship where I was like, all right, this got to end. And I wake up in the morning and I know my decision is made, but I can't just be like, hey, I want to break up. It's kind of like the moment got to be right.
Fuck the moment. It is what it is. I don't just do it out of nowhere. I definitely do it when something happens. Like if we have an agreement or a disagreement about something, I'll be like, listen, this ain't gonna work out. Like, honestly, you could just go your way, I go my way, and we ain't gotta hate each other. Boom. Like I definitely all my exes
live in Texas.
I broke up with all of them except one. One of them broke up with me.
Dang, you the breaker-upper? How many relationships you been in, if you don't mind me asking?
I've been in my adult life, I've only been in 3. One of them was 5 years.
Okay.
On and off. I ended that one. One of them was 2 years, and I got broken up with. And then the last one was like a year and some change. And yeah,
I think I'm on my 5th relationship, but I only been in 2 serious relationships. I mean, like, I thought it was serious in high school, but let's be for real. But I only been in 2 serious relationships.
Yeah, you know what's so crazy? My last boyfriend, I didn't break up with him. Like, I didn't say anything. I literally just walked out of dinner.
Oh yeah, on his birthday, right?
Yeah, on his birthday, I just walked out, and then that was just it.
Wow, because your bill was too high. What a shady lady.
That's definitely not what happened, but yeah. We cool now, though. We cool.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm cool with all my exes. That's why, and I'm glad. You think that's okay?
When you're in a relationship, do you stay cool with them?
So when I say cool, I don't mean that we talk.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I don't think it. Like we'll like talk on social media, like they'll respond to one of my stories and nothing. But I just keep a good relationship with them. One, because if something happens to them, I would feel some type of way because at one point we were like in love, and then it's not anything where like I broke up with my exes because they were cheating on me or they did this or something crazy, they were beating on me or something. So I feel like just having that open line of communication with that person isn't that bad, but we don't take advantage of it. One of my exes, we do kind of talk. We used to talk all the time, like FaceTime each other, but now we just talk a little bit. But I'm glad though because I got the new Uno game and one of the cards says FaceTime your ex or draw 8 cards.
Wait, did you write that on there or was that how the game was made? Oh, I've been seeing that on so there's this post. It says Aquarius. Express your feelings or draw 25, and it's a picture of a man with like 50 cards in his hand.
Oh my God, yeah.
That's my toxic trait. I'm drawing 29 just to be on the safe side.
Oh my God, yeah. You could write your cards on there. I actually want to erase one of them and write something else, but yeah.
You should probably use a little sticker you can peel on and peel off because your handwriting might change over time.
True. Or I just want to use something else.
Are you okay with the way your toxic traits are? Or do you think you want to change them? Like, do you think they can be changed, or is it even that big of a deal?
I definitely want to change it because I do feel as if a lot of times, maybe not to you, but a lot of times my presence kind of bothers people. It kind of offends people. No, it ain't even in that way. I mean, like in a negative way. Like my presence kind of bothers people, and what I mean by that is like I'm very stiff. I'm very dry. I'm not easily impressed. And so, like, a lot of stuff that people will be into, majority of my friends will be into, I just immediately shut it down. I'm like, I don't really want to do that. And it makes me sometimes feel like I'm coming off as problematic because the majority is like, oh, let's do it. And then I'm just like, I'll just catch y'all after.
All right, I'm going to head out.
Yeah, so, and that happens a lot, and I always end up just doing what I want to do, but I'm just that type of person. Like, I just do what I want to do. But I feel like certain things you can do together, and you should do together, but realistically, as an adult, I just like to make my own decisions.
I know. You know what, though? I'm at that point in my life where I have truly realized what I like to do, what's for me, and what I will and will not do. Like, you know what? I'm something that's really annoying me. And this is not even coming from one space, but it's just like what people expect you to have already done at this point. Like, like a lot of people know that how long I've been in my relationship, and now they're like, well, I don't see the ring. And I'm like, why does it matter?
Yeah.
Like, why? What if I don't want to get married? There was a girl who literally was like confused why I said maybe I won't. You know, I do. So the thing is, I do want to get married, but I'm not in any kind of rush because one thing, I love living alone. Number one. Number two, once I get married, now y'all gonna be talking about me having kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not ready for that either. And if it gets to a point where it doesn't happen, well, oh well.
I think that people need to erase that part of their expectations out of their memory, because I
and
feel
it's
like
of other people. It's like, what does that do for you?
Yeah, like I feel like because I have a friend and she always chastises me about being single, because I've been single for maybe like 3 years
and
now.
maybe you like being single. Like, what does it do?
And
for
I
you?
tell her, and I'm like, you know, it's not as easy to date. Like, I don't just date just because I don't want to be lonely. And I told her, I said, I feel like you do that. I feel like you get into these relationships, and it's not a read, but I feel like you just get into these relationships with people, and you don't. It's not necessarily you don't really like them. You just don't like being alone, so you just take what you can get. And that's why people be
having the relationship drama that they have, because they just get in these situations because they want to be in them.
I'm not that girl, and this is not that page.
Exactly. Right plan, wrong man, baby.
That's what I'm saying. So I just feel like, you know, until I can find somebody who I'm like 100% comfortable with, not even 100%, but at least 85.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that I'm comfortable with dating, that we either have the same interests, or we're both open-minded to trying new stuff. It's just so many different things that I look for in dating, and I just can't date everybody.
Just look for it. Just look exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not even looking to date because I feel like you going to look for something, you don't find it. So if it'll come when it comes.
My thing is, I don't care nothing about tradition.
Me either.
Society expects.
And just because you've been with somebody for years does not mean you have to be married.
Like, why?
Marriage is not the end goal for everybody, and it should not be the end goal for everybody. Not life goal for me.
Having kids or getting married is not life goals for me. My life goals
I do want kids, though.
Is being fine. I'm saying if it doesn't happen, I am not going to feel incomplete or that I did not live my life appropriately.
Yeah, I do want kids. So
to me,
that's, you know,
like a life goal is to travel as frequently as I can, have a lot of money to myself, own my properties, own everything. And if I want to have kids and get married, then that's just going to be extra. But I swear to God, I don't even think about it. My boyfriend will tell you, like, okay. Well, now sometimes I do joke with him, like, all right, my ring up, but he know it is not that deep.
Yeah.
And I'll be 42 walking down the aisle. Oops, too late to have a baby because I can't have one of those either. But no, if I have one, that's fine. But it's not like a big deal. Like, it's not. I just feel like it's so much more. Do you think that
if you have kids that you have to have them after you're married, or you?
I do. I would prefer that. But only because, and it's obviously getting married does not guarantee any success of a relationship.
Yeah.
But for me, that will, if I finally get married, that means that I have established some consistency and faith in knowing that this is going to be something I'm going to do for the long run.
Okay. I asked that because a lot of celebrities, I remember listening to Queen Radio at one point, and Kehlani was on there. And I don't know if everybody knows Kehlani's story, but Kehlani ended up dating.
YG?
I don't even know if they were dating or not. I think they just had a baby. I could be wrong, but the guy that she had her baby with is bisexual, and so is she. So when she came on the show on Queen Radio, Nicki Minaj brought it up, and she just, asked her a few questions about it. And Nikki was just like really shocked that she wasn't married and had a baby. And she was like, "Do you plan on getting married?"
Prehistoric mentality. Like, who cares?
Yeah, and you know what's so crazy though? And I even watched a special with Nikki on there, and she's like an island girl. People that are from the islands of Africa, they are really big on marriage and having
tradition.
kids and tradition and religion and stuff like that. So I feel like she just has that mentality, but she didn't really have a reason as to why she wanted to wait to have kids. It's just she thinks she, that's just what she said. It's just what her mom put in her head. She said that out of her mouth. Like, she just said, that's just what my mom taught me, is that you get married first and then you have kids after.
Guess what? My mama taught me that too. You think I care? No. I get married when I'm ready, if. Yeah. And I have babies when I'm ready, if. But what I will do is make a lot of money and have a lot of fun. And funds. Period. Yeah, it kind of, there's a couple people who have come up to me, like people that, I know they don't mean no harm, but they be like, ain't no ring on the finger. And I'm thinking like, man, people have been together. I mean, it just does not matter. It just doesn't matter. To me, spend money so people can watch me marry somebody that I'm already with. Yeah. And then not get that money back. And then we go home and then everything's back to normal. And then what? Is that like some validation that y'all want from me? Or do you just want to be at a wedding because it's the thing to do? Like, I really, truly want to know, like, why does it matter? Yeah. And if I do get married, honestly, we might elope. You gonna be mad about that too?
Yeah, nobody's ever satisfied, and it's not even their relationship to get satisfied by. Exactly. Honey, I genuinely like weddings. I like any type of celebrations because
me too. I love it. I love the idea of planning a wedding, but it's to the point where people they have so many expectations. It's like, well, F all y'all, and I'm just gonna do what's gonna be peaceful for me and him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if we gotta pull a card or offset. We get married in the living room. Like, it just does not matter. Like, that's what y'all want. Y'all wanted me to have the last name. Now what?
I got it.
So what you're really saying is you want me, this is what, instead of saying when y'all gonna get married, say, when are you gonna blow a whole bunch of money on a party that a lot of people that you invite aren't gonna speak to you again?
It was some tea behind that.
No, I just feel like people do these big extravagant weddings and they invite all these people who they probably talk to a little bit, but it's really just a showcase. It's a showcase, and that's just really what it is. And I'm not here for that. I don't care. I like attention. Yes, I do. But I'm not about to, I got student loan debt. Now, if you're going to pay off my debt and then let me get a wedding, but the two can't exist at the same time. Period. Anyway, that ain't got nothing to do with toxic traits.
Yeah. Look, back to toxic traits. Let me just, I did have one as well. Okay. One of my toxic traits is that I self-sabotage a lot.
Whoa. Speak on it, sis.
Self-sabotage is one of my most toxic traits.
Can you give us an example?
I have 61. So, let's get to it. So, for one, I self-sabotage myself about my image, obviously. Like, I think that I've grown to just really want to be small. Like, I don't mind my size, and I feel like for some reason, me being this size has attracted more people to me, but I'm just not comfortable with my size, for one, because in my head, and sometimes in real life, I'm a very active person. Like, I love to be outside doing stuff. I want to be able to run, and I want to be able to play sports and all this other stuff. Like, I really do. I be thinking about playing baseball all the time. Like, I want to play baseball. Somebody recommended tennis. They was like, let's play tennis.
Soccer is that girl.
I ain't really with that. I'm a kickball type of girl.
Okay, kickball too.
I like kickball.
Actually, kickball is a little better. But soccer is never ending. That's not gonna have you out there looking like an hourglass. Yes,
but I'm always sabotaging myself about, like, even down to, like, skin. Like, I'm very attentive to the way my body looks. Like, even if I see a mark on my leg, I'm like, you know what? I need to exfoliate. I need to change this, blah, blah, blah. Like, I pay attention to a lot of stuff on my body. But I feel like that's normal. Everybody is so critical about their image, so I don't think that that's fair, for real. I think that a way that I self-sabotage without knowing is that I never give myself credit for my work. Like, I feel like I've done so much freaking work and some major projects, worked on major projects, did major things, a lot of good things in my career, and I just never give myself credit. And I'm like, people will say stuff to me and I just kind of like brush it off. I'm like, oh yeah, I did do that. And I just leave it at that. Like, I'm not excited about it. But in a way, I feel like that's a form of self-sabotage. It's just like,
it's the imposter syndrome. You don't even realize what you've really done. Like, you know it, but to you like kind of minimalizing it as if it's not even that big of a deal.
Every time.
I think for me, I'm similar. I think I freeze up when it comes to talking about myself. Like, you know, and this can be known. I mean, my managers even know I'm looking for another job. So I work on a lot of high level stuff. I mean, things that have impacted the entire company, like nationwide. Yeah. And this is not even to brag, but there's a lot of stuff that I have done and that I do on a day-to-day basis that really is super important. And it saves a lot of money, costs a lot of money, generate money in certain areas. And when it comes to when I go to interviews, somehow I can't really repeat it the way that I need to. And I feel like, well, how in the world are they going to want to hire me? They don't even realize the impact of what I'm doing. But it's like, Alicia, you got to, like, you 5.
Yeah, same.
It's like, speak up. You know what I'm saying? And it's so crazy because I was talking to my senior manager yesterday, and he was just like, you know, you did, like, he was just kind of like pumping me up, like, you did this, and this. He was like, now look, we can go down the list of what you've done. You just need to make sure that you are selling that. But I think what I get in my head about is what I know that they're looking for the job. So I try to really, really emphasize on what they're looking for and align it with what I've done, even though I've done even greater things. So I just got to get out of my head about that. And sometimes it's hard for me to believe it's the impact that I've had. I'm like, I did that?
Same.
Like, I literally open, like, I open multiple locations for my company every week. Like, I'm opening 12 new locations. I'm about to open one in Puerto Rico. And these are things that are not simple. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of planning, a lot of budget, a lot of things that I do. And if somebody who meet me on the street, they'll never think that. You know what I'm saying? Not that I have to, and I think that sometimes I do myself a disservice by not carrying myself with a little cockiness. You know what I'm saying?
Same.
Because I get so comfortable. I really like being myself and I really value that. But I think sometimes your presence really can define what people even interpret what you're saying. Like, me and you could have completely different personalities. We could say the exact same thing. Somebody might lean more towards you because you look a little bit more polished. Now, me, I like to keep it real. That's going to probably be my downfall professionally, you know what I'm saying? Because I like to just be myself. Now, I'm not talking about being ghetto and all that, but I don't really like that whole, I do that, and I do that. I don't really like that corporate America persona, if that makes sense.
No,
but I think that sometimes I don't want to wash myself out, but I feel like sometimes I just got to adjust. If I want to get the answers I'm looking for, I got to ask the right questions. And those questions being acting how I should act.
Yeah. I think that for me, I had to kind of tone it down a lot because of me listening to other people around me. And I think I talked about this in one of our previous episodes. But just me working in my career field, a lot of people didn't take, allegedly. Somebody was just giving me a little advice saying that, you know, I should just kind of clean it up a little bit. I need to start working with these type of people and doing this type of makeup and just scale back on what I'm doing and stop doing so much stuff on myself. And, you know, just not do basically saying stop doing
what you actually were enjoying doing.
Yeah. And so now I'm to a point where I'm trying to get back to that because I've made myself known and I made a presence of, you know, the work that I'm doing. But now I'm like, you know what, let's get back to what I actually really like doing and creating concepts for myself. Because, I mean, whenever I have interviews or people ask me, like, what was the inspiration behind, you know, a lot of my projects or what made me want to become a makeup artist. And it's just because me. Like, I definitely feel like I have about 45 personalities in my body. And that was just a way for me to express it. Like, I can paint myself to look like whoever at that moment, and it'll just go. Like, I can definitely create a whole new image. And I think I just need to get back to that. I think that makes me feel comfortable. I feel like people need to know that side of me, and they don't know that. I just be looking at old pictures like, damn. So
do you feel like you've just grown away from that, or do you think that people won't receive it?
So I just felt insecure about it because, for one, when I used to do it, I used to get put on blog sites. Like, people would just talk about me so bad, but I would still get good feedback from people. Like, the good did outweigh the bad, but it just would get some attention in a negative way sometimes. And I just wasn't strong enough to accept it. But now I feel like I'm to a point where, like, you know what? People ain't going to like everything. So
I feel like this era promotes that, though. It's kind of like, you're going to have haters. But, you know, it just wasn't the common thing. Like, I almost feel like as crazy and negative as social media is, it also has some sense of confidence to be like,
yes.
Like, girl, so what? They're going to be content all day type
because
stuff.
It's like a lot of people that do a lot of things for shock value or just things that they don't really believe in, and they just doing it just to be seen, and they're getting praised for it. And I'm like, you know what? That makes me feel like I just need to kind of tap into my old Barney bag and just pull out some stuff and just let people know what I can do. And I'm planning on it. I'm trying to get that together now, but and I need to just realize my impact on a lot of things, like the type of work that I do at my age. Like, the people that I work around are way older than me. So it's just like, dang,
youngest in charge, baby, and you 30.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So it's just like the sets and stuff that I work on, I'm usually like the youngest person there all the time. All the time. Unless it's like a reality show, of course. But I'm saying, like, major projects, I'm usually the youngest there. I had to teach myself so much stuff, and I'm just like, you know what? I need to give myself credit for that, because nobody could, like, I know nobody could do that.
You right, man.
Not for real. And it's so bad. It's so bad that I do myself like that. Like, I even thought about hosting a class, not even just a makeup class, but just a class on how to, on set etiquette and just things you're supposed to do, because a lot of people get on set and they look crazy. I work with a lot of like new stylists and new hairstylists or whatever on set, or with certain artists, and they just don't have a clue, and they don't do nothing right, and it's not even necessarily their fault, because they're new and they just winging it. And I was that person at one point, but who's going to be there to teach them that? Or just to teach them how to be professional, and what do you do? How do you go about certain things, and how to deal with people, what to say, what not to say. It's a whole bunch of stuff. So yeah, I gotta give myself some more credit though. I be feeling like I just self-sabotage myself too much. Like, I just don't be feeling like I'm not doing enough sometimes. That's another part of it. When in actuality, I'm doing just fine, because I look at people around me that I grew up with, or even just my peers in general, not even necessarily people I grew up with, and they're not doing as well as I am. And it ain't to brag, but it's just like, in a sense, like, why are you being so hard on yourself when you're doing fine? You just need to continue to work hard. And of course, you should want more for yourself, but you shouldn't just beat yourself up about it.
You're right. I think you got to stop comparing yourself to others too. I think I used to, not that I used to do that, but there was a point in where I didn't feel like I was doing well enough. Just, what's so crazy? The people that don't be doing nothing be the main ones trying to be like, why you don't do this? Why you don't do that? And so then you start looking at people that are doing certain things and you're like, why I didn't do that? But it's like, it just wasn't for you to do. I know. I mean, I'm at a point now I don't give a darn. I literally wake up every day doing exactly what I want to do, and that's some lit stuff right there, y'all. All right, so before we close out this episode, I just want to let you guys know that this episode and every episode is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook and a 30-day trial on us by visiting audibletrial.com/ODpodcast. And a book that I just finished reading is Shook One, Mind Playing Tricks on You, which is by Charlamagne the God. It's about his take and experience.
Did you say Charlamagne the Goddess?
Mm-hmm. The guy? No, I did not say that. But he wrote a book about mental health. He's kind of want to become an advocate for mental health, but because he has gone down the journey to discover his mental health and the things that has caused it. And ironically enough, we have kind of dealt with some similar traumatic things, and that was interesting to me. So if you guys want to join me on that read, you can just once again go to audibletrial.com/ODpodcast.
Period. Shout out to Charlamagne the Goddess. I love that.
You're crazy. Y'all, we need some listener letters. If you need advice, please send an email to listenodp@gmail.com. That is listenodp@gmail.com.
Also, if you have advice for us, whether you have advice for us as a duo or individually, I think that the better way to do that is to send it through a DM on Instagram.
Yeah.
That'll be received quicker, and then it'll be directed towards us individually if it needs to be. So,
yeah.
With that being said, my Instagram is Draco DRVCO, and yours is what?
Licia UHH.LICIA. I really wish that I didn't have the dot, but somebody's using it and they're not even using it well. So anyway.
Let's report it. So if everybody can help us report.
Don't do that.
UHHLICIA without the dot. Let's do it. No, you know what's so crazy though? My name, I only made my name DRVCO because somebody is using the name Draco and he doesn't use the account.
And the thing is, if you would have secured that name a long time ago, I know it would have been available. Like when Instagram first was popping.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
it is what it is.
But I'm glad that I didn't, though. I'm glad that I have this one because it separates me from other people. Because I feel like that name, the word Draco alone is just becoming so popular. So now that mine is a V instead of an A,
Yeah,
I feel like
you know
people
what,
can
though?
distinguish me.
I feel like if it was spelled the regular way, you would still get a lot of hits because people would just type in Draco to search and your page will come up.
Child, they still hit me up. They be DMing me all the time asking about my page, about my name. They're like, "Can you change your name? I'll pay you.
Pay me
4
first.
racks and da da da."
That's weird and crazy, but I get it. All right, y'all. It's been another episode of OD Podcast. Talk to you next
Talk to y'all later, okay?
Yeah.
Let's talk about how you can't do shit for a bitch.